High-ticket sales, a signature drives on a 7-figure contract. That single pen stroke isn't the end of a conversation, it's the result of a 6-month campaign. This is the world of high-ticket sales, where the price tag has so many zeros that a single deal can define a company's entire quarter. The goal here isn't volume. A business selling enterprise software or private jets isn't trying to attract thousands of customers. They may only need 10. The entire sales process is inverted. Instead of casting a wide net, it is about precision targeting and building deep relationships with a handful of key decision makers. The salesperson transforms from a presenter into a consultant. Their job is less about persuasion and more about diagnosis. They spend months understanding a client-specific, complex problems, sometimes identifying issues the client themselves hadn't even recognized. The product isn't just a tool, it's presented as the definitive solution to a critical, expensive pain point. For the buyer, the commitment is immense. They aren't just spending money, they are staking their reputation, and sometimes their company's future, on making the right choice. This intense pressure changes the entire dynamic of the sale. It forces the seller to move beyond a polished pitch or simple charisma. They need to build something far more valuable and far more fragile, genuine trust. Copywriting, from the slogan on a highway billboard to the subject line that convinces you to open an email, you interact with it dozens of times before lunch. This is copywriting, the invisible architecture behind our commercial world. It is the craft of writing for one specific purpose, to persuade. It is not about beautiful prose or winning literary awards. Its success is measured in actions, a click, a call, a purchase. This makes it a direct application of human psychology, where words are tools engineered to provoke a response. A skilled copywriter understands desire, fear, and curiosity better than most. They know that people don't buy a mattress, they buy a good night's sleep. The pioneers of the industry, working in smoky Madison Avenue offices, built empires on this principle. They weren't just selling soap, they were selling hope. They weren't just describing a car, they were building a narrative of freedom and status. That same DNA exists in the digital ads that follow you across the internet today. The principles are identical, only now the feedback is instantaneous and the targeting is surgical. Each word is tested, and every phrase is optimized. Every headline is a hook, and every sentence is a carefully placed stepping stone, designed to lead you toward a single conclusion. It raises a critical question. When you finally click buy now, are you making a conscious decision, or simply reading the last line of a script written just for you? Performance marketing. For most of advertising history, spending money was an act of faith. A company bought a billboard or a magazine spread, hoping it would lead to sales. But there was no direct link, no guarantee. You paid for the potential of being seen, not for the actual result. This model was built on estimations and educated guesses. Performance marketing flips that script entirely. It is a simple, powerful contract. A business pays only when a specific, measurable action occurs. It's not about buying impressions or eyeballs, it's about buying a completed sale, a new email subscriber, or a software download. The financial risk shifts away from the advertiser and onto the publisher, the platform, or person running the ad. This creates a fundamentally different relationship. Whether it's a massive search engine or a niche blogger, now has a direct financial stake in the outcome. They only get paid if their audience actually does something. This model takes many forms, from affiliate links on a review website to pay-per-click ads dominating search results. It transformed digital advertising from an art of mass persuasion into a data-driven science of conversion. Every click could be tracked, every customer journey analyzed, and every dollar of ad spend could be justified by a tangible return. But this laser focus on results also created a powerful new incentive to master the numbers, no matter the cost. Software engineering. Think of building a doghouse. You can probably do it yourself with a few planks of wood and a hammer. Now, think of building a skyscraper. You wouldn't just start nailing boards together. You need blueprints, a foundation, structural analysis, and a coordinated team. This is the essential difference between programming and software engineering. Programming is the act of writing instructions for a computer, the equivalent of hammering a nail. Software engineering is the discipline of building and maintaining entire systems. It's about managing complexity at a massive scale. 100, or even thousands, of programmers are working on the same project. Like a modern operating system or a global logistics network, chaos is the default state. Software engineering provides a structure to fight that chaos. It introduces processes for planning, designing, and testing. It creates architectural patterns so that a change in one small part of the system doesn't bring the whole thing crashing down. It's less about the genius of a single coder and more about the collective ability of a team to build something reliable, adaptable, and capable of evolving over years, or even decades. The real challenge isn't just making the software work today, it's ensuring it can still work after 1,000 different people have made 1,000 different changes. UI/UX design. In the language of design, two terms are often spoken in the same breath, UI and UX. User interface and user experience. While deeply connected, they are not the same thing. To understand the difference, think of a restaurant. User interface, or UI, is everything you can touch and see. It has the crisp layout of the menu, the weight of the silverware in your hand, the specific chair you are sitting in. It has the tangible, tactical points of interaction. These are the tools provided for your dining experience. But user experience, or UX, is the entire narrative of your evening. It has the subtle aroma from the kitchen when you walk in. It has the mood set by the lighting and the background music. It has the flow of the conversation with your server and the satisfaction of a perfectly timed meal. UX is a memory you take with you. A beautiful menu can't save a terrible meal. In the digital world, this distinction is critical. An app can have beautiful, polished buttons and slick animations that has good UI. But if finding the right information feels like a maze, or if the checkout process is confusing, the experience is broken. The UX has failed. So when we judge a product, we're not just looking at its surface. We're asking a much deeper question: what did it feel like to use it? Video production. Once the script is locked, the abstract ideas must become tangible reality. This is the production phase, where words on a page are translated into light and sound. A film set is a place of controlled chaos. The director orchestrates the action, a single vision filtering through dozens of specialized hands, from the gaffer rigging lights to the production assistant managing the schedule. The cinematographer paints with light, shaping the entire mood of a scene before a single word is spoken. The sound recordist listens for the unwanted hum of a refrigerator, capturing silence as carefully as the dialogue, knowing that audio is half the experience. It is a process that appears effortless on screen but is defined by intense problem solving and repetition. The perfect shot might take 20 takes because of a passing airplane or a line flub. A simple 3-minute scene could take an entire day to capture, a meticulous puzzle of camera angles, microphone placements, and precise timing. Every decision is a permanent choice, a moment captured on a memory card. Every shadow, every reflection, every background noise is a detail that must be managed. It's a grueling, collaborative effort to manufacture moments that will eventually feel completely authentic. And when the final cut is called and the equipment is packed away, all that remains is a mountain of raw footage. Hours, days, or even weeks of work, condensed into a collection of digital files. The story isn't finished, its pieces have just been gathered. Data science. Every time you stream a movie, buy groceries, or walk down the street with your phone, you're recreating data. Tiny, digital breadcrumbs. For most of history, this information was either lost or stored away in dusty file cabinets, too vast and chaotic to be useful. But something changed. We developed the tools to collect it, the computing power to process it, and the methods to make sense of it all. This is the core of data science. It isn't just about pouring information. It's about asking specific questions. A data scientist might look at city traffic patterns and ask, where can we build a new bus route to reduce commute times? Or they might analyze millions of medical records to ask, are there hidden environmental factors contributing to a specific disease? To answer these questions, they use a blend of skills. They need the statistical knowledge of a mathematician, the coding ability of a software engineer, and the investigative mindset of a detective. They clean up messy, incomplete information, search for meaningful patterns, and then build predictive models. These models are essentially educated guesses about the future, built from the data of the past. They can forecast product demand for a retailer or identify fraudulent credit card transactions in real time. It's a field that turns raw noise into a clear signal. But what happens when these signals are used to make decisions that affect our lives, from loan applications to job interviews? The power to predict the future comes with a heavy responsibility. AI and machine learning. We often use the terms artificial intelligence and machine learning interchangeably, but they aren't quite the same thing. Think of AI as the grand goal, building a machine that can reason, learn, and solve problems. Machine learning is one of the most powerful methods we have for achieving that goal. Instead of programming a computer with a rigid set of rules for every possible scenario, we give it a different kind of instruction: learn for yourself. This learning process is driven by data. For an image recognition system, that means feeding it millions of pictures of, say, a bicycle. The algorithm analyzes the pixels, adjusts its internal parameters, and slowly builds its own complex understanding of what a bicycle looks like. It isn't searching for handlebars or two wheels because we told it to. It's identifying the subtle statistical patterns that consistently appear in the thousands of examples we label bicycle. This core idea powers so much of our modern world. It is how your phone recognizes your face, how your email sorts spam from important messages, and how navigation apps predict traffic jams. This system isn't following a pre-written flowchart. It is making a highly educated guess based on probabilities it calculated from past examples. But this capability raises a critical question. As these systems operate on data sets far too large for any human to analyze, are we creating a tool that simply mimics our intelligence, or are we building a form of thinking we can no longer fully comprehend? Cybersecurity. Every time you send an email, stream a movie, or tap your card to pay for coffee, a silent exchange takes place. It is not just your data moving from one point to another. It's a constant, invisible skirmish between defense and attack. This is the front line of cybersecurity. It's not a single wall, but a sprawling, interconnected ecosystem of defenses designed to protect everything from your personal photos to the electrical grid that powers your city. The threats are no longer just lone hackers in basements. They are organized crime syndicates operating like multinational corporations and state-sponsored groups with immense resources. Their targets are not just bank accounts, but hospital records, military secrets, and the very integrity of our public institutions. On the other side are the defenders, ethical hackers, security architects, and threat analysts. They aren't just building digital fortresses, they are actively hunting for threats, setting sophisticated traps, and studying the enemy's methods to anticipate their next move. It's a relentless cat and mouse game played out in ones and zeros across the globe. But in a world with billions of connected devices, every single one represents a potential door. The defenders have to secure them all. The attacker only needs to find one that's unlocked. Business consulting. A company hits a wall. Sales growth stalls, a new product fails to launch, or morale plummets for no obvious reason. The internal teams have tried everything they can think of, but they restuck, looking at the same problem from the same angles. This is often the moment a phone call is made. The person on the other end isn't an employee. They're a business consultant, an outsider brought in to solve a specific, complex problem. Their primary job is to provide a perspective that the company itself has lost. They arrive with a clear mandate, find the root cause, not just the symptoms. This isn't about sitting in a meeting and offering generic advice. It is about deep, methodical analysis. Consultants will spend weeks, sometimes months, interviewing employees from the mailroom to the boardroom, learning the unwritten rules of the organization. They dig through financial records, supply chain data, and years of customer feedback. They map out every step of an internal process, looking for the one broken link in the chain that is causing the entire system to fail. For a struggling retail chain, the problem might not be its marketing. After analysis, a consultant might discover the issue is an outdated inventory system, causing popular items to be out of stock while unpopular ones gather dust. The solution isn't a new ad campaign, it's a complete overhaul of their logistics. Consultants sell specialized expertise, but more importantly, they sell objectivity. A perspective free from internal politics and the powerful, human tendency to think, this is just how we've always done it. This raises a crucial question. If the answers are often right there in the data, why does it so often take an outsider to find them? E-commerce. It is 2 in the morning, and you've just bought a pair of shoes from a small shop located halfway around the world. This simple act, this seamless transaction, is the modern point of a commercial revolution. E-commerce is more than just online shopping, it is the fundamental wiring of how we exchange goods. The idea took root long before the web as we know it existed. In the early 70s, university students used a primitive network called ARPANET to arrange illicit sales. But the first recognized, secure online retail transaction was far more mundane, a large pepperoni pizza, ordered from Pizza Hut's website in 1994. From that single pizza, an entire global ecosystem has exploded. This system relies on a few key pillars: the digital storefront that acts as the shop window, the secure payment gateways that handle our money, and the sprawling, intricate logistic that move a product from a warehouse shelf to a front door. This digital infrastructure has radically lowered the barrier to entry for businesses. Anyone with a product can theoretically reach a global audience, competing directly with established brands from their own garage. It is a shift that has transformed consumer expectations. We now demand speed, convenience, and endless choice. The digital storefront hasn't just replaced the physical one, it's permanently altered our relationship with it. With content creation, it often begins with a simple idea. A joke, a recipe, a political thought. Not long ago, sharing that idea with millions required a television network, a publisher, or a record label. Today, it just requires a smartphone and an internet connection. This is the radical democratization of media. The old gatekeepers, the executives in corner offices, haven't just been replaced. In many ways, they've been bypassed entirely. Suddenly, teenager in their bedroom could build a larger audience than a primetime news anchor. A home cook could inspire millions without ever stepping into a professional kitchen. This explosion of creativity reshaped our culture, but it also created an unforgiving economy of attention. With billions of videos, articles, and songs uploaded daily, the challenge shifted from gaining access to achieving visibility. How do you stand out in an infinite ocean of noise? The answer, for many, lies in understanding the new gatekeeper, the algorithm. This invisible force dictates what thrives and what dies. Creators now spend as much time dissecting engagement metrics and optimizing titles as they do honing their craft. They are artists, but also data scientists. The pressure is immense, a relentless cycle of posting, analyzing, and repeating just to stay relevant. So while the tools for creation are in everyone's hands, the path to being heard is now governed by a system far more complex, and perhaps more demanding, than any human predecessor.